transistor. So this multi-emitter transistor has nothing to do with amplifier. It is mainly used in digital circuits. So you know that the two functions of a transistor is going to be amplifier and a switch. So when the transistor is operating in the active region, you co- you use the transistor for amplifying purposes. When the transistor is going to operate in cutoff or saturation, you are going to use the transistor as a switch. So one such application of multi-emitter transistor is going to be, it is mainly used in TTL. TTL is one of the logic in digital circuits, transistor logic. The digital circuits means which operate with binary 0 and 1. The 0 means the transistor is off, no current is flowing. So the transistor is in cutoff state. Binary 1 means transistor is on, heavy current is flowing, transistor is in saturation region. Okay, so based on the transistor also, I can design binary logic. One such logic is called as TTL. So TTL logic, initially all the logic were formed based on diodes, PN junction diodes only. But after the invention of transistors, since transistors is very fast and the switching speed is very high, very quick compared to your diodes, they started using transistors for digital logic. Okay, and you see TTL is a very fast NX61 easy to use digital logic. So using TTL, you can design all the basic gates. You know the basic logic gates, right? AND gate, OR gate, NAND gate, NOR gate, XOR gate, XNOR gate, NOT gate. So all these basic gates can be designed using your TTL logic, transistor logic. So and everything, see the working, everything is going to be same. Only thing, instead of having one emitter, I'm going to have multiple emitters in my transistor. So the diagram should be very clear to you. See here, take a P-type substrate. Over, see, you take a P-type substrate. Over that, you will grow an N epitaxial layer. I am taking a PNP transistor, okay? I am taking an NPN transistor, okay? So you on the P-type, you are going to have an N-type epitaxial layer. You are going to grow the N-type layer over the P-type. Again, over the P-type, I'm going to have one more P layer. And in the P layer, I'm going to have two uh, n plus region which are going to be for emitter, and one region it's going to be for base. See, base is converted to P and emitter is converted to N. So it's an NPN transistor. You see here NPN. Collector is also N. And definitely you cannot grow this N layer. You cannot have N layer as the bottommost layer. So you will grow this N layer on a P type substrate. The NPN transistor substrate will be opposite P type. If I'm going to go for a PNP transistor, substrate will be N type. So that is the technology used here. You cannot question the technology. So that is what is the technology has been used to fabricate the transistors. The conventional transistor, you will have only E1. This E2 will not be there. E1 will be have a converted to N region and base will be converted to P region. And obviously collector will be converted to N region. So it forms NPN transistor. See, in the N region, if they give N plus means this particular region is going to be heavily doped. Plus put a see N region is normal N type semiconductor. If they put a plus, it means that that particular region is heavily doped. It will have more number of N-type donors. Okay, so in collector and emitter, you can see N plus, and base you don't have N plus, you have base directly connected to the P-type. So you in the construction wise, you can see you have two emitters here, E1 and E2 in the transistor fabrication, and this is the usually this is the equivalent circuit of transistor. You will have only one arrow mark for coming outside for NPN transistor. You call it as IE, but since you have two emitters here, you represent as two arrow marks coming out with branching, and you call it as IE1 and IE2. Okay, this is the construction of your multi-emitter transistor. See here, so it can be one first thing why we are going for multi-emitter transistors. Fabrication is very simple. A normal transistor one extra terminal I am going to add. So already everything is existing. Normal transistor you will not have this E2. This E1 will be called as E. Correct? So in multi-emitter transistor, I am going to rename E as E1. I am going to add one more emitter E2 in this P region. So construction wise, already known technology, known diagram is there. I am going to add one extra terminal E2 for my transistor. Okay, so that is why they say this transistor is very easily fabricated, and in the we have two N plus emitter regions diffused in the P type symbol, and the diagram and the Symbol, everything is same as a conventional NPN transistor BJT. Only thing, emitter side will have two leads coming out. One is emitter 1 and one is going to be emitter 2. So here, if you apply the current equation, I can write IE1 plus IE2 equal to IB plus IC. The total base current plus collector current will be equal to the emitter current. Here, the emitter current is itself divided into two. So I can write IB plus IC equal to IE1 plus IE2. You know it is Kirchhoff's current law at a particular node. So if you apply Kirchhoff's current law at this particular emitter node, the incoming current is IB plus IC. The outgoing current is IE1 plus IE2. You know sum of incoming current equal to sum of outgoing current. The IB plus IC equal to IE1 plus IE2. So this is the symbol, and this is going to be the fabrication cross-sectional view of your multi-emitter transistor. Multi-emitter means more than one. Here I am having two emitters. Some transistors also have 3, 4, 5 emitters. You can have more number of emitters depending on the need and the application where you are going to use these BJTs, multi-emitter BJTs. Okay, the TTL logic is mainly used for implementing NAND gate. Okay, so you know what is a NAND gate. NAND gate is AND gate followed by an inverter, correct? So in you know the truth table for an AND gate. So we are using two voltage logic. High voltage, high means I'm going to consider it as plus 5 volt. It is binary logic 1. And low means it is going to be grounded or it is going to be 0 volt. So 0 volt means binary 0, plus 5 volt means it is going to be binary 1. Binary 1 logic. So this is see here, this is the diagram for a simple TTL NAND gate. How to implement a NAND gate using multi-emitter transistor. Okay, simple basic two input TTL NAND gate, and you see here you have 1, 2, 3 transistors, Q1A, Q1B, and Q. Okay, so this is two transistors you have, and the output I'm going to take from collector of Q2, which will be equivalent to NAND gate. NAND gate, you know, it is AB whole bar. Okay, that is what is given here. And you see here the two inputs are A and B. So one input is going to be going to one emitter, second input is going to go to the second emitter. So I'm going to have two inputs for this multi emitter transistor, and we are going to see what is the operation depending on the voltage A and B. So if A and B are low, assume A and B are grounded. Okay, A and B are low means, you know, see here above it's given low means it is grounded. So if A and B are low means the base of Q1 is pulled down to 0.7 volts. So that reduces the base voltage of Q2 to almost 0. So see here, so I am giving 0 here. So when I give 0 here, these two transistors will be, you know, for a transistor to function, minimum 0.7 volt is required, right? So when I give 0 here, this transistor will not function. This transistor will not function. So there will be no base current. There will be no base current going to Q2. Okay, so no base current going to Q2 means Q2 will also be off. So when Q2 is off, it is just like open circuit. So whatever voltage is appearing here will be appearing across Y. Okay, so that is what they're meaning here. See here, if A and B are low, Q1 is pulled down to 0.7. Pull down means it needs 0.7. It is coming below 0.7. So which means it will reduce the base voltage of Q2 to 0. So Q2 is off. So you know Q2 is off. So Q2 is off means the output is pulled to a high voltage. So Q2 is off means whatever voltage available in the input, VCC will be appearing across the output. So 0, 0, the output is 1. So you know when you perform NAND gate, first to perform AND gate, 0 into 0 is 0, 0 complement is 1. So you're getting the answer correctly. See, it is given A plus B the whole bar. It is wrong. It is AB the whole bar. Okay, some typological mistake in the textbook. It is a NAND gate. NAND means, you know, it is, I will take AND I'll do AND operation first, and then I will take a complement. Okay. And we'll see one more condition. See the next condition. If both are high, A and B both are high. So if A and B both are high means, I'm high means, you know, I'm giving 5 volt or I'm giving binary 1. So when A and B both are high means that both the transistors will be turned on. Okay, both the transistors will be turned on, both will go to saturation. So see what is the input to Q2. So input to Q2 is collector current of this transistor. Okay, so since this transistor is going to be in saturation, heavy current will flow through the collector, which will go through your base. So Q2 will also be on. So when Q2 is on, the voltage appearing across Q2 will be the voltage at this point. So this voltage VCE will be appearing at the output. You know, when the transistor is in saturation, VCE value is very, very small. You can say it is approximately equal to 0. So 0 is going to appear across the output of Q2. So 1 and 1, you do the AND operation. 1 into 1 is 1. 1 bar is 0. So this logic is also going to work. Okay, so that is what you see here. On the other hand, if I'm going to give A and B as high voltages, Q1 will conduct. So since Q1 is conducting, Q2 is also conducting. Since Q2 is going into saturation, it is going to produce a low output. See, one logic you have to remember: when a transistor is conducting, the output will be 0. Ideally, output will be very, very small. It will be like 0.1, 0.2, but for the ideal calculation, we assume it to be 0. When the transistor is off, the output will be equal to VCC. The VCC is 5 volt, means it is going to be equal to binary 1. It is going to be logic high. And when you give 0 to a transistor, the transistor will be off because minimum required voltage is 0.7 volt. When you give binary 1 to your transistor, binary 1 is equivalent to logic plus 5 volt. So transistor will be on. See, 0 and 1 means don't think that I'm giving 0 volt and 1 volt. No, please don't confuse the binary logic with voltage. Binary 0 is equivalent to 0 volt. Okay, binary 0 is equivalent to 0 volt. Binary 1 is equivalent to VCC. Whatever highest voltage you give for the circuit, that is going to be VCC. Don't confuse these two things. 0 means 0, so don't think 1 means I should give 1. No. 0 is 0 volt and binary 1 means VCC. VCC, some transistors use plus 5 volt, some transistors use plus 10 volt, some transistors use plus 12 volt. So depending on whatever value of VCC you are using, you have to fix that as the voltage for binary 1. So in this way, this multi-emitter transistor is used as a simple NAND gate. So anybody is having doubt in the operation of NAND gate, I'm going to pass here. Please ask doubts if you have. One simple trick to remember all these gates is you should clearly know if I apply 0 or if I apply 1, which transistor is on, which transistor is off. Accordingly, you have to see the output. That's all. Output you will be taking always from collector of that transistor. So the output depends on the functioning of this transistor Q2 only. So if Q2 is on means output is 0. If Q2 is off means output is 1. So this transistor will work like a simple inverter or a NOT gate. One transistor is equivalent to a simple inverter because when you apply 0, transistor is off, output is 1. When you apply 1, transistor is on, output is 0. So 0 apply panna 1, 1 apply panna 0. So a single transistor will work like an inverter. Inverter, not gate. It will negate whatever input you give. And here I'm going to use the multi-emitter transistor where two inputs A and B are given to the two emitters of a single transistor Q1. For understanding, they have split the transistor into Q1A and Q1B, but actually Q1, this dotted line constitutes a single transistor Q1 with two emitters having input A and B. Okay. Any doubts anybody is having?